As an investor, as a seed investor at Prime Ventures, which I was doing for 5 years, and even now I do angel invest once in a while. The number one thing I expect from the investee, the entrepreneur, is to understand who I am, know my name, go do some Google research, do some very basic research on who it is it a fund, is it an angel, what stage of the fund is it in, how big is the fund. All this information is just available on Google for like 5 minutes exercise. And 95% of the entrepreneurs don't do this. Right? They just walk in blindly and start pitching because they're so passionate about their own idea. They don't care about who you are, right? They could be pitching to a wall. And for me, that's like a big turnoff because they have not done the basic of homework of what they're doing, and they're all about themselves. When you're asking somebody for money, it's like, what is in it for the other person? This is the number one thing that I expect them to do homework on. So that is rule number one. I think everybody should do this. It's so easy. It's on Google. If you're not doing it, you're doing it wrong. After that, the pitch should have some very basic criteria. But the number one thing, the way to deliver the pitch is passion. If there is no passion, I immediately reject, right? Because without passion is the fuel that's going to drive you, right? Your idea will change 10 times, right? Your product will change 10 times, even your team will change 5 times, right? But ultimately your passion is what is going to carry you through. An investor, an entrepreneur, especially early stage, without passion, reject, right? And honestly, you should not be an entrepreneur if you're not passionate. Once you pass these two, and many entrepreneurs are passionate, so that's usually not the problem. But some are not. Some are just doing it, and I don't know why they're doing it. They should not be doing entrepreneurs. Then I look for, then that's when the whole thing we start. So here there are many types of ideas, many things one can do. So it's very hard to give very general advice, but there are some very basic ingredients. What is your business? Who is your customer? Right? How are you going to make money? How are you going to get customers? Right? What is the economics of the business fundamentally? Right? Just with a pen and paper. Right? Not that it's a good idea. That's also there. But what is the business about this? Who's going to pay you? How much? Right? How much is you going to spend to get the customer? How much you're going to spend to service the customer? Right? You could be selling potatoes. Right? It doesn't matter what you're selling. This applies to across all businesses. This is the basic idea of a business model. Again, lots of public resources exist. It's not that hard to do. And I think it's not that whatever you're going to present is going to be the final model, but the fact that you're thinking about it is the most important one. Right? So everybody should do these kind of basics. Who is the team? Why do you think you are capable of addressing this problem? Right? Who's out there already? Who's the competitors? Why do you think you're going to be better than them? Right? So these are some sort of basic questions everybody should answer. And if you are not able to answer the questions to yourself, forget about convincing somebody else, then you should not even go ask for money. After this, it's a question of presentation. And presentations can be very bad. I've funded so many companies with bad presentations. That's okay, because good investors can see through this, right? The fire, the novelty of the idea, right? And how you're going to execute, the thinking through, and the caliber of the team. But most importantly, in early stage, it's all about the caliber of the team. A very high caliber team will immediately get a lot of attention. I look for returns, right? I'm going to put X crores or X $1 million into this. What am I going to get out of it? When am I going to get something out of it? Can I get something out of it? And how big can it be? Right? And what is the risk of me not getting it? First criteria is the ability for me to make returns, right? So there are very, very good ideas. I see a lot of great ideas where the idea is good, the entrepreneur is good, they've checked all these boxes that I've told you, and they're very passionate, but I don't see how I'm going to get a return out of this investment. Right? I'm making X% and putting this thing in. I don't know what is going to happen to this company. This company needs to either go public or to sell to somebody. That's how we make our money, right, as investors. And if I don't see a path at all, right, I just don't think it's an interesting business. And many businesses fall into that category. They're what we call lifestyle businesses. They're good businesses. You might even make some profit. That's not even the problem. It is just that there is no, for an investor, I don't know how I'm going to get my return of the money I put in. And it needs to be a significant multiple because it's an unsecured risk, right? So you need to give us a multiple of the money I'm putting in for the risk I'm taking.